Hi, this is Rachelle with Scrapcraftastic, and I am going to make a clear sleeve using laminate to work with the Walmart Pen and Gear passport size daily planners, which are little notebooks. You get a box of 12 for less than $6. So I have converted my ring planner. This is a Smart Fee Pocket Rings from Amazon. I will link to it in the description box below if it's still available. But the brand is Smart Fee and is considerably less expensive than the Moterm, or it was at the time that I got this, and is very similar to Moterm. I mean, I really can't show you the actual ring version. I took the ring mechanism out and converted it to use for traveler's notebook style. So I have the Walmart Pen and Gear daily planner notebooks in here. I have 4 in here. I could probably put 6, but for right now I just have 4, and I show how I converted it in a previous video, which I will link in the iCard up above. So what I'm going to do, this is a clear sleeve pocket, something like this. So it's just a very thin vinyl clear sleeve. This is really intended for pocket size, maybe a little bit larger. The inserts or the notebooks, daily planners from Walmart are passport size. So there's about a 1/2 inch difference in the height. The width is the same. I'm going to attempt to make a version of this using laminate because I know not everybody has access to this, but a lot of people have a laminator and laminate pouches. And this is an inexpensive little hack that you can do to create this cover. I don't know what you want to call it, a cover, a dashboard. This is an easy way to create that. And with doing so, it allows you to add more notebooks to your traveler's notebook strings without adding a jump band. All right, so I showed how I did all of that. I have 4 notebooks on 2 strings with this cover. I showed how I did it in a previous video, so make sure you check out those videos. All right, so to start, I'm warming up my laminator, so you may hear it beeping and buzzing over there. I have 2 3mm laminate sheets. I'm going to go with 3mm because I think if I do 5mm, it's just going to be entirely too thick. First off, I'm going to cut off the rounded edges. So you see there, that's rounded. I'm just going to cut that off because I want it squared to begin with, and that's about 1/4 inch. So I'm trying to make sure this is as flat as possible and line that up to cut off 1/4 inch. Okay, so there we go with that. Now this is the sealed part of the laminate. So this is what holds the 2 sheets together. So it is 2 pieces. Let me see if I can open that so you can see. So it's 2 pieces. This is the seal. We don't want to cut that. I want to use the open end. So with the open end, I'm going to trim this at 5. Do I want to start with 5.5? I'm going to go 5 1/4 and hope for the best. Passport is 5 inches in height, so I'm going to go 5 1/4 to allow myself a little wiggle room. And I'm just going to trim that off. Okay, so I have this piece that I can use elsewhere, or I may be able to use it with this actually. I don't know. We'll see. All right, then I need to cut 2 pieces. This is double, all right, but I'm keeping them together. I want to cut 2 pieces at, I'm going to go 3 5/8. So I'm going to add 1/8 inch. I may regret that, but so that's one. This will be this is the part that will make our pockets on each side. So 3 5/8. All right, so we got our pocket pieces. Now I'm going to see if I can use this. Will this work? I think it will. So I may only need 1 piece of laminate actually. So I'm going to put this aside. Okay, so this is a tricky part. I don't know, this is kind of why I avoid doing this a lot, because you have to be really, really careful. So I'm going to line this up on my mat. I'm going to use the lines on my mat as guides. I'll take a couple of pieces of washi tape, to hold it in place on the edge where it's sealed together. You want to hold that in place so it's not going to wiggle. Then I'm going to open that up, use this little jar to hold it in place. Let's see, I'm going to take a teeny tiny piece of washi tape to hold the bottom in place because everything is moving. So just a teeny tiny piece, all right? Not too much. Now I'm going to take my pocket piece, which is shiny side out, and I'm going to flip those around and put the shiny side on the inside so that the dull side is on the outside. I'm going to use my ruler, find the center, which is about 4.5, 4.5. Where the 0 is the center. The original pocket has a 3/4 inch spine area, so I'm going to allow for 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to come over from the 0, 3/8 of an inch on each side. Then I'm going to place my pocket down. And I'm going to do the same with the other pocket. So shiny sides are out. We're going to flip it around to dull sides out, shiny sides in. And I've put my fingers all over this. It's best not to put your fingers on it if you can help it. So I'm going to come over 3/8 of an inch. And that's going to give me 3/4 of an inch total for the spine area. Then I'm going to put that in place. Make sure that my pockets are lined up. I'm going to get my pokey tool to help me scooch things around. It's hard to get everything perfectly straight, but get it as straight as you can. See, this is down too low, so let me move that up. You want them lined up at the top and the bottom. All right, I think that's the best that I can do. It's pretty straight. So I'm going to lift up my jar and close it. Now, hopefully nothing will move. I'm going to remove the tape. Now, I need something to pick this up with. Let's use this. This is a cardstock that I printed, and I just happen to have it close at hand. So I'm just going to use that to slide it out of the way. Just grab the laminator, which should be nice and hot by now. So now I'm going to turn this with the sealed part facing my laminator. I want the sealed part to go in first. And then I'm just going to use the paper to lift it up so that nothing moves and feed it in. Now, if you have a laminator that feeds from the back at an angle, you'll have to figure out how to do it in a way that nothing moves. I do have one like that, but I don't use it because I prefer this one. It's really old. They don't even make this anymore. And I feel like some of the things that I do with it are a little stressful to the laminator, but this is a heavy duty one. It'll hold up. I'm not sure that the newer models will hold up to the kind of stuff that I do. I ran it through one time, one direction. I'm going to run it through again, the other direction. And I do that to, number one, make sure that everything is sealed well. Number two, to get some of the wrinkling out of it. Now, again, this is an old laminator, so it has a lot of rippling. The roller causes that rippled look. You can see the ripple and the glare there. I try to get rid of as much of that as I can. Now, I could set something on here heavy and flat while this is hot, but we're going to move on. Setting something on the hot laminate while it's still hot will help smooth it out some and get rid of some of that. But like I said, we're going to move on. I'm going to take my scrap paper to put under this so maybe you can see a little bit better. This is what it looks like once it's laminated. I'm going to take my blade and cut along the edge here and here to open up those pockets. And I'm going to use, where's my other metal ruler? I'm going to use my small metal ruler to do this. It's like there's a little air bubble right there, and I'm just going to cut into that air bubble. Just use my blade to line that up. I don't want to go down too far. Let's see if I applied enough pressure. I don't think I did. Let's apply a little more pressure. You don't want to cut all the way through. You just want to cut through the air bubble. I think I got it that time. There we go. So that opens that up. Okay. So you got a pocket. Let's do the other side. Put my point of my blade where I want to start. Let's see if I got through that time. All right. There we go. All right, so that's open. We got our 2 pockets open. Now I'm going to trim off the excess so we have some. It's really hard to show this. We have some excess around the edge. We're going to trim off, but we're going to steer clear of the air bubble. This is my other paper trimmer. I don't use it often because I have to buy new blades, and I prefer to get used things where I don't have to buy new parts for it. So the rotary, it's very rare that you have to replace the blade for that. So that's why I've been using it. Okay. But what I do with this type of paper trimmer, with this type of blade, I line my air bubble up with the white here, the white edge here. Okay. And then that tells me I'm far enough away from the air bubble to trim. So I'm far enough away from the air bubble. So I'm going to go ahead and trim. And see, this is the kind of edge that we get. Use another piece of my scrapbook paper to hopefully show you. You see the edge where I trimmed? Hopefully you can see that. So I'm going to do the same thing on all 4 sides, staying away from the air bubble. And this is a really quick and easy way to do it. I don't have to guess. I know where to line it up on my paper trimmer. And yeah, I can just cut it and get it done because it's really hard to see. Well, for me to see. All right, let's put this back. I'm going to use my corner chomper to round the corners. I'm going to use the 1/2 inch. That seems to work the best for me. Tools and supplies that I use will be linked in the description box below. All right, so now that we've done all the trimming, all the opening of the pockets, all of that, I'm going to run it through the laminator again. That's just to make sure that all those cut edges are still sealed properly. Everything is as flat as it can be. And then we'll move forward, okay? Let's get my notebook ready to test it with. I'm going to take everything out. Oh, it's done. Hot, hot, hot. All right, I think we're done with the laminator for now. Now, I don't know if I need to put those divots in this laminate like I did. Let's see if these will slide in before we move on to that other part. So let's see. Taking my first one, slide it in. Perfect. Okay. This is my second notebook. Slide that in. Nice. All right, now this is the part that I'm not sure about. Let's see if I can slide this onto the 2 middle strings. It doesn't have to be the 2 middle, but okay. So I probably do need to put those divots in again. So what I'm going to do is fold this. Put a little crease in the middle so I can see where I need to use my hole punch at. I'm going to take my hole punch and put a little half circle there, which will give some room for the elastics to rest and release some of that tension. Okay. And then let's do this in. So I'm punching a half punch right in the middle. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. So then I'm going to take my scissors and cut off the hard edge. Just trim it at an angle. Okay, that one's okay. So I don't have that sharp corner. It's more rounded looking. Okay, so that's what we're working with. Did I get in the center? I think I got pretty good in the center. Now let's pop this on the elastics. And voila. Okay, so it sits better in the elastic like that. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and put my other books on the two elastics in the center, like so. All right. Now I don't have anything here. I could take this out and slide it in, but maybe we'll use something different. See how the paper tore here? That's because I used regular paper. I should have used cardstock to print on. It would have been a little sturdier, and the elastic was really tight on that. See, it's really tight. So if I use something a little more sturdy, it wouldn't have torn like that. So that's fine. I'm just going to keep this out, and I'll be using this in a junk journal or something. So I'll have to do another design for this cover, and I may just make a pocket. I think I will design a pocket for our next video. What is making that scraping noise? Is it this? So this is scraping up against the notebook. I wonder, will that relax? With that in mind, you might want to make the pocket area a little shorter than I did. That way it won't have that noise. It won't have that because it won't be so close to it, to the fold, if that bothers you. But other than that, it works great. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you going to try it? This is what it looks like up close and personal. And that's with the 4 notebooks and a hacked ring bound planner. I really love the way this leather feels. It's really nice. So that is it. We created a clear cover insert that holds multiple notebooks. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and you may be interested in this other video. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.